Welcome to Physics Power channel. Now I am going to explain the conceptual questions in nuclei through MCQ. The first question: nuclear forces are options: non-central forces, spin dependent, saturated, all the above. So here in option 2 it is very clear, spin dependent is the major one of the point in nuclear forces, and as well as charge independent, that is not there, and as well as non-central forces. So these are non-central forces, spin dependent it is clear, so, and as well as these are saturated. So all the above is the answer. Next, which of the following is not correct about nuclear forces? So first option, they are short range attractive forces. Second one, they change to repulsive at very close distance. They are independent of charge. They obey inverse square law of force. So here first option, if you see, these are short range forces only. All nucleons are tightly bounded at very near distance. And second option also correct, because those, if you move little bit further, means if they came very close, then attractive forces will be converted into repulsive forces, and if you move more than 3 Fermi approximately, then that attractive force will become almost approximately 0. So these are short range forces and they will become repulsive if they come very close. Next, they are independent of charge. That is also important point for nuclear forces, important property. So they will not obey inverse square law of force. So that is why fourth option is correct. Next question. The nuclear mass density is of the order of, that is 10 to the power of 17 kg per meter cube. It's a direct theoretical question, so option 2 is correct. Next, the mass number of a nucleus is equal to its atomic number, always less than its atomic number, always more than its atomic number, sometimes more than and sometimes equal to atomic number. So here be careful, asking the relation about A and Z. So A is always greater than Z is not correct answer. Be careful, only in case of hydrogen both are equal, H11. So here equal to possibility is there in just one case, then remaining all the cases A is greater than Z. So one possibility is there equal, so that is why we should choose option 4. Next question. The mass number A of a nucleus is related to surface area x of the nucleus as. So here surface area, for that if you know the radius, then surface area of the nucleus means surface area of the sphere, that is 4 pi r square. So here r means radius of the nucleus. So radius of the nucleus and A, there is a relation, r proportional to a power 1 by 3. So here surface area means 4 pi r square, apply square on both sides, so then you will get a power 2 by 3, that means option 3. So let me explain by showing the equation. Here r proportional to a power 1 by 3. So here surface area means 4 pi r square, so r square means apply whole square both sides, so a power 2 by 3 is the answer. Next question. The ratio of volume of atom to that of nucleus. So they are asking about volume point of view. So if you consider the radius ratio, so the nucleus is the order of 10 to the power of minus 15 and atom is the order of 10 to the power of minus 10. So atom is 1 lakh times extra more radius point of view. So 10 to the power of times radius means dimension wise, radius dimension wise extra. So here asking about volume. So volume means here it is dimension of r cube. So that is why 10 to the power of 5 whole cube. So 10 to the power of 15 is the answer. Okay, the ratio of volume of atom to the nucleus. So atom at the numerator, nucleus as denominator. So 10 to the power of minus 10 by 10 to the power of minus 15 whole cube. So 10 to the power of 5 cube, 10 to the power of 15, that is option 1. Next, the approximate ratio of nuclear mass density of carbon 612 and lithium 37. So here they are asking about density of the nucleus. So density of the nucleus is the same for all nuclei irrespective of the mass number and as well as atomic number. So the ratio will give every time the same value, that is equals to 1. There is no variation in density with respect to nuclei. Next question. Radioactive P1530 decays into. So here the decay depends upon the stability. If stability is less, then only the decay possible. Here N by P ratio wise, here it is 30 and 15, nothing but N by P ratio, number of neutrons, number of protons, same, it is equals to 1. So if N by P ratio is high, then neutron will decay into proton. If N by P ratio is very much less than 1, then proton will decay into neutron. So here N by P ratio equals to 1. So proton cannot convert into neutron. In that case it will become less than 1. So N by P ratio less than 1 means it is not a stable one. So here based on N by P ratio we have to judge the stability of the nucleus. So N by P ratio less than 1 means it will have very less stability. So that is why here 15 number of protons will not decay. Okay, so here if neutron decays into proton, then neutron number decreases. Due to that it will become much less than 1. So that is why neutron cannot be converted into protons. Then proton number increases much more and it will become much less than 1. So stability decreases a lot. So the decay happens to convert into a stable nuclei. So that is why here proton will be converted into neutron. So in that case proton number decreases. So proton number decreases means it should become 14. So the 14 chance is there for silicon or option 2 silicon. So either answer 1 or 2. And again further if you analyze, if neutron disintegrate into proton, in that case you will get an electron. Neutron converted into plus and minus, in that case you will get electron, but here proton converting into neutron, so in that case you will get positron. So that is why answer is option 1. I hope you understand. Next question. Binding energy per nucleon is maximum for. So here binding energy, lighter nuclei, heavier nuclei, intermediate nuclei, all the above. So for lighter nuclei, according to binding energy curve, for lighter nuclei the binding energy per nucleon is less, and as well as for heavier nuclei also it is less. So that is why they will involve in nuclear fission, and natural radioactivity we are observing. For intermediate nuclei, that nuclei the binding energy per nucleon is very high. Example, almost iron 2 or atomic mass number 30 to almost 120, the stability of the nucleus is very high. So that is why option 3 is correct. Intermediate nuclei is having more binding energy per nucleon. Next question. The binding energy per nucleon is maximum at A equals to 56, that is for iron, and its value is around 8.8 MeV per nucleon. So approximately, so exact means 8.79 MeV. Next question. The stability of a nucleus can be measured by average binding energy or N by P ratio or packing fraction, all the above. So here average binding energy is more, means more stability. Here binding energy indicates the stability, and as well as in last bit also we discussed N by P ratio is more, then means almost approximately 1 means more stability. If it is more unstable, less than 1, less than 1 also unstable one. And here packing fraction nothing but delta M, mass defect by A atomic mass number. So that is indicated with negative sign. So what it may be, these three are the indication for the stability of the nucleus. So that is why all the above is the answer. Next question. Which one has most ionizing power. So here gamma rays penetrating power is high, X-rays are electromagnetic waves, so beta rays having any properties that is intermediate to alpha or gamma. So here either answer alpha or gamma. Penetrating power is high for gamma, ionizing power is high for alpha, so that is why option 3 is the answer. Next question. In a radioactive series, uranium 92-238 changes to lead 82-206 through N1 alpha decay process and N2 beta decay process. So here what is the value of N1, what is the value of N2 they are asking. So and they gave options also. So here if one alpha particle comes out from a particular nucleus, then Z number decreases by 2 and mass number decreases by 4. But if beta particle came out from the nucleus, then mass number will not change, only atomic number increases by 1. So here beta decay means you have to consider negative beta decay only, not positive decay. So one electron comes out means Z number increases by 1 but mass number remains the same. So mass number will not affect for beta. So with respect to alpha, if you analyze, then you will get a perfect answer. So for that, if you observe, so here 238 mass number, that is converted into 206. So nothing but the difference is 38 minus 6, nothing but 32. So here mass number decreased by 32. So for each alpha particle you will get reduction of 4 mass number. So 32 by 4, nothing but 8 alpha particles will come out. So answer may be 1 or 3. So further to judge, we should know how many beta particle comes out. So here 8 alpha particle comes out means for each alpha particle here atomic number decreases by 2. So 8 means it should decreases by 16. So it should be 92 minus 82. So 92 minus 82 means it should be 20, but now analyze properly. So here we got the difference as 10. Here we got a difference just 10 we got. So actually due to 8 alpha particles, 16 it should decrease. 16 is the number it should decrease. Reason, for each alpha particle 2 Z number should decrease. For each alpha particle the Z value should decrease by 2, but here total 8 alpha particle comes out means the total it should be 16. Okay, so now actually 16 it should decrease, it decreased only 10. That means each beta particle comes out, Z value should increase by 1. That means here first it decreased by 16 and afterwards due to the 6 beta particles again the number increased to 6 extra. So then only here it is showing 10. So here finally we have 10 means here 6 beta particle comes out. So that is why the total it became 10. Okay, once again I am repeating. So here 8 alpha particles. So 8 alpha particles comes out means for each alpha particle 2 should decrease from Z. So total 8 means it should be 16. So but 16 decrease is not there, only 10 decreased. So means 6 alpha particle comes out. So that is why the difference it is showing like 10. Okay, so 8 alpha particle, 6 beta particles. Next question. When a radioactive element is heated, its activity. So here activity means disintegration of nucleus is independent of temperature of the material. So that is why it remains constant, option 2. Next question. A free neutron decays spontaneously into. So here neutron will decay into plus and minus, neutral particle, it will decay into plus and minus, means one proton and one electron. At that time we will get one anti-neutrino also. So that is why option 3 is correct answer. Thank you. So if you want any topic, mention in comment section. I will try to post that topic video.